Hi everyone, this is Ginger Morgan, and I previously showed you with the strip of paper how to fold the modified start on the Jelly Roll rug. So today I thought I would kind of show you how to actually do it with the fabric and what I do getting started and everything. So let me pull up my strip. I have my strip ready to go. I've also got my walking foot on my machine. I have a Janome and it's called an AccuFeed foot. So I have it. I have my zigzag set and I've swapped out my needle for a purple top. And then I use the Aurifil cotton thread 50 weight that matches my fabric and everything. So those are what I use. Now on the previous demonstration with the paper, you can see there's your line that you want to fold at. So this is your first fold. So it's over, fold over. So here's where I want to fold. I've marked it with a pen. I'm going to fold over. And then if, as you notice with this, we're also on the strip going to fold over again to get that point. So I'm going to fold over and then I'm going to fold over again and bring these together. So once I have them together, I'm going to go ahead and place a pin here just to hold them together. You can use those little clamps if you want. I'm going to pull this pin out so I don't get it caught. And then what you may want to do is once you have that, you may want to go ahead and I'm going to pin on down just to hold my strips, my two strips together. You'll notice in the beginning, because we did over and over, that you're going to have these, the open edge here together. But that's going to change and it's going to be right when we do the next turn. So let me pin again down here. And then I'm going to pin down here. And now what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and kind of preview the next turn. So we've made, let me get this right for you. So we've just done this and we've just pinned all the way down. So now we're going to turn it so you can see it better. And we're going to fold under and then under. So the first two folds are over, over, and now the next two folds are under, under. So let's go back to the strip. So these two are over and over, and then this strip here, down here at this corner, is going to be under. That, and then under again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just kind of holding it together just so that I'll adjust this when I get down to it. I just want to show you kind of what we're doing here. All right, so now let's go back and let's start sewing. Now, with this modified start, this tip this end is a little bit bulky. So you may have trouble with it in the beginning underneath this. So it's, for me, I use this little tool a lot in situations like this. A sewing awl, or they call them a sewing stiletto. I'm going to push down to get it up underneath here. And as you can see on this foot, there's this opening here. And I'm going to align that with where these two edges come together. So I'm going to push down and get this underneath my machine, my presser foot. And I'm going to try to start, you know, as back as far as you can to catch it. But, you know, now here you can see I can't really see, but I've got it aligned, and that's okay. I don't have anything in the way, but I'm going to actually push this down and together as I begin to sew. Okay, so now we've gotten the bulk under it. It should be good now. I'm going to pull that first pin and keep going. I'm just kind of pushing them together. I probably don't need my sewing awl right now, seeing as how we got the bulk going under it and we're good now. And so with the walking foot or the AccuFeed foot, this is helping move your fabric along with the feed dogs. So they move at the same rate, and that will help move your bulky fabric through, and that way you don't have as much risk of cupping and stuff because you're pushing or pulling. You're letting the machine and the walking foot and the feed dogs do their job. So let's continue here. I'm going to get as close as I can down here to my other edge before we have to start turning and adjusting these two folds. Okay, so now I want to, and as you can see, my two folded edges are against the one fold. So we're going to go ahead and take some of this stuff off because we pre-set it. I'm gonna go ahead and continue down. Pull some of these pins. And it's a little bulky again at this edge, so I'm going to keep sewing down slow. Okay, I'm going I'm going to lift my presser foot. I'm going to turn. I'm going to make sure this is adjusted okay under there. I'm going to lower my presser foot. My two pieces are this edge right here. So here's this edge, and here's the end of the other. You can see them right there. So they're right there next to each other. My center point is on the center of those two, and now I'm going to sew across this end. Okay, I'm gonna come. Oh, I always stop on the right side of my zigzag. I'm gonna just double check this to see how we are when we get ready to bring this around and see if I'm centered. I'm pretty close, so I think I'm gonna be okay. So here's my two folds. Here's my one fold. You can see, because we did it that way, that we are good on this. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and lower it again, and we're gonna continue. So that's the fur, or we started up at the top. This is that one. When we come back around, we're going to transition into the curve. That's what I did with my other jelly roll rug. And I'm just letting the machine pull it through, and I'm just supporting it together and making sure that I stay centered as much as possible so that I catch both sides of each of those fabrics. So we're gonna keep going down. And then when I get to the starting point is where I'm gonna start trying to curve it around. It gets a little tight, and there might be a slight cupping, but hopefully it won't be too bad. All right, let me get rid of this thread. All right, so now we're gonna need to start kind of curving it inward as we get closer. And I may have to adjust as we go by lifting my presser foot up. Okay, I'm going to lift my presser foot up. I'm going to turn, bring these together, lower. Okay, again, do this to ease it in as much as possible. Again, if you need to use your stiletto or sewing awl to help, you can. Okay. There we go. It's finicky when you gotta try to get those. There we go. I'm gonna lift and turn, bring my two edges back to my center here. this out of the way. Okay, pretty close, almost to where we're in the straightaway. So now I'm going to ease it around. There we go. All right, I've eased it around, and now we're going to come back down this other side. Alright, so now we're at the other edge, which this one will be easier than this other one. So I'm going to curve it around. Alright. Almost around this curve. And let me tell you, it does get a lot easier after you get around this curve. It gets easier and easier. So, alright, so we're down to the straightaway again. So what I do is I sew about halfway down my strip here. And then I'm going to take it out. I'm going to show you. And I'm going to go press the center down. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to show you both things. I mean, of course, nothing's ever perfect. It's handmade. So, here's my first transition. So here we are. This is where we started up here. And then our folds. And then this was my first transition. And then when we came around, here's my second transition around those folds right there. So, and really for me, the cupping, I mean, you might get some cupping like that, folded up a little bit like that. But when I sew that, and I'm going to press this, it should work itself out. But otherwise, it's, you know, like I said, it's handmade.